Operations Committee.
So on the bright side, we're not bringing you the D3 bus lot, we're not bringing you a CAS, we're not bringing you Dunstan, we're giving you
Whatever.
reallocations, so
What you got?
hopefully this will be pretty straightforward. Ron, I'll turn it over to you for the first one, which is a capital maintenance reallocation for Phase 4, that's our current program.
So these three allocations reflect the three colors of money that I use for our capital maintenance project. So first is reallocation for Goodwin, for HVAC and exterior envelope. So we're taking savings from various projects and reallocating them to do the last two projects on the resolution shown.
Which is Goodwin and Goodwin envelope, right?
Yep. HVAC and exterior envelope.
Okay. And you said these are savings from other projects, right?
They are, sir.
Oh, now she's gonna
You know
do it.
which, are the savings from the other projects on this list? Or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As you look at that, the
I got you, Harry.
top 10
I got
line.
you. Okay.
Everyone's has that key, that's it.
So I move to approve the reallocation funds as shown on the attached resolution, even though I'm not here. Yep.
Okay,
What
minute.
are we doing?
Eric,
you wanted to-
we're on Operations
get your
8A.
We're approving Coach's motion.
It's the capital projects, budget reallocation.
Seconded by me.
It's motion made by Kate, seconded by Eric. Any question? Call a vote. Priscilla,
Aye.
Kevin,
Yeah.
Stobbs,
Yeah.
Collins.
I guess I know I'm voting, but I guess so.
Yeah,
You
you
guess
gotta
either
get
you know, you don't know.
I don't know. Go ahead, though. I trust
The
you.
reallocation.
So Cindy vote yes, I vote yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Eric, and I vote yes. Passes. Next, my friends.
The next is some of the 8% funding. This is the additional 10 million that you're giving me for capital maintenance projects, and this is similar reallocation of savings for Drayton Hall HVAC project. This one, 2 and 5.
Drayton Hall.
Move for, second.
All right, so we got a motion by Eric, second by Kate. Any questions, anyone?
What number is it, Michael?
It is 8B.
Okay, I'm on it.
All right, with that being said, questions, Priscilla,
Aye.
Hollenshed,
Thomas?
Stobbs.
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Darby,
Yes.
Coach,
Yes.
Mac,
Yes.
Michael Miller, yes. Next, my friends.
Third one is a reallocation of the regular fixed cost of ownership. In this case, 500,000 from Deer Park Middle School to Septima Clark, to the Gresham Mega campus. This is to relocate Septima Clark program from North Charleston High School back to Gresham Mega.
Move for approval?
Second.
Eric, Kate, Cindy, question?
Nope.
Is it savings or are we cutting it from, because I know Deer Park's in a flux, we got everything they need out there.
Go ahead.
We put $1 million there to work on the phase 3, the next phase of expansions to the campus. That's held up in permitting and some stormwater issues. So Mr. Padron has said he's good if we can get him another trailer, an outdoor eating area,
Cover.
cover, and some additional restroom renovations.
And that's going to be enough?
Yes, ma'am.
The
I think
$500,000.
that'll be enough.
Okay.
Okay.
And I don't have any for Clark.
Fifth grade will remain at Ladson and Cochran this year.
Right.
The rising fifth graders,
Okay, thank you.
or the rising fourth graders.
Any other questions from anyone?
Nope.
I have a question, but it's not exactly on that item, but
Okay, well, hold
Okay.
on that, hold on
Okay.
that, hold it. In regards to Deer Park, is there any cameras outside where their trailers are?
yes, sir.
They're operational and all that kind of stuff, because when I went to visit, it seemed pretty open, and there's like a really like small fence on the left side of the property, like where I think it's the baseball field is, so the fence is only about 4 feet high or so it seemed like pretty easy to access that to get on the campus, so to make sure that they have proper video, so in the event somebody's on campus, or maybe you can raise that fence or something to at least have some type of
Between the library?
yeah, between the library and the campus to butt that up, so it's not so easy to kind of get over it.
So let me address both those. So the first one, I looked at Tom Naraki, there was a project this spring to add cameras for the outside.
That's correct.
Complete?
That's not complete
Not
yet, it's in the
complete?
process.
When is
We have a
that?
project in
When is
process.
it to be completed?
We'll start that immediately.
Okay,
And then fence,
School opens at the very latest.
Yes, ma'am.
okay, all right.
fence line, we'll have to take a look at it unless Michael knows anything about the fence at Deer Park. Now I'll take a look at it.
Might take a look at that. It's just a small, like a 4-foot fence on the left side of the property, separating the school from the library.
Library side.
And so, yeah, okay.
Suggesting a higher fence or?
Right, or something. I mean, it's just really about as tall as this table. Okay, Priscilla?
Yes.
So I had a motion by Eric,
Yes.
second by Kate. So Priscilla, stop,
Yes.
Hollenshed,
Yes.
Stobbs,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Darby,
Yes.
Coates,
Yes.
Mack. Yes. And I vote yes, it passes. Next.
Okay, the next item on the list is this year's funds, FY18. It's assessing all of the projects that we've completed, identified the remaining funding that we haven't expended, and reallocating that funding to be done before the end of the summer. So you can see the list of projects that are there. We rolled up 7 projects that had excess funds, and we're looking at adding it to 4 projects at the bottom. The 4 projects that we would add to would include furniture, athletics, playgrounds, and facility maintenance. We've got specific projects identified for each of those.
Yeah, and you have the schools. that-
Correct.
Can you send that like in a Friday update so we'll
We'll
have?
do that. So we've got the FF&E projects. One is early college and the other is Clark. The athletics are mats for Stall, Wando, and North Charleston High, wrestling mats, playground at Mount Zion, and then Ron's got like 36 facility projects. We can give you that, list.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we need a,
Second.
Kate and Eric once again, tag team. Any questions? None? Priscilla,
Yes.
Hollenshed,
Yes.
Stobbs?
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Darby,
Yes.
Coates,
Yes.
Mack? Yes. And I vote yes. And now we have our transportation report. Before Jeff, we start, does anybody have any questions? Before, it's pretty standard report that he's been providing for us for the last year or so.
Can I ask about the, my question now, before you go to the transition? Or you wanna wait?
Yeah, hold on. We almost, when we get to the last one, we'll get to
Okay, all right.
Any questions for Jeff? The only question that I do have, Jeff, is something we spoke earlier about is if it's within your ability to track the buses that you see have the most breakdowns. I don't know if the state's doing it or we're doing it, but is there any way you can start to add that to our report?
I think it was two things. The way you worded it last time, I think it was a little different.
Right, it was, and I changed it, I remember it again.
All right. The first time you spoke about it was about tracking the impact of those buses specifically.
Right.
Which is gonna be a lot harder to do. We're still not there
Okay.
yet, especially since we're dealing with an outside agency's ability to provide us with accurate information. Not saying we can't get there, but we still are not to that part.
Okay.
The way you worded it today was a little different, which was,
Right.
let me make sure I understand that one.
Right. So today, basically, all I'm asking for, let's say, Jeff's driving a bus.
Right.
His bus breaks down this morning, right?
Right.
If he's a driver, he lets his superior know that the bus that I'm driving today, bus 112, broke down today. Tomorrow, I get my bus, and I say, Eric gets bus 212, the same bus, but he doesn't know that Jeff drove that bus yesterday, or whatever. He makes the same report, just saying that my bus broke down, the same bus broke down, and then start to track
By route.
by route and by bus number, because I'm assuming there.
Well, it's not, because it's a little, we're not there yet either, but that's
Okay.
where we're headed. So
Okay.
it's not just that, it's that, and I'll give you another scenario, it's gonna say the same thing you just said,
Okay.
but it's really how it operates. So you're driving your regular bus, 508, whatever the number is, it breaks down on you, it goes to the shop. They give you a spare bus. Spare bus breaks down on you, it goes to the shop. They give you another spare bus. That one breaks down on you. So that is by route. Even though you may have 3 different buses,
Okay.
we've got to work with the state, and we are, on getting that granular with their data and our data together. So, but we're not there where I can give you that right now.
Okay.
We are moving in that direction where we can give you an impact
Okay.
on route by breakdown. But that's the way it actually happens. So you'll have, if the spare comes in, it's not your regular bus may break down, but it's the impact of the spares have on your route also. We have to be able to track that, not just, I can do it by bus number, which is the asset number, right? But by route, we've got to be more detailed with our reporting.
And then guys, the reason why I was asking Jeff to go this way is because obviously, we've been having some, not just us, but probably across the state, issues with state-owned buses. And so one of my thoughts was if we could from a granular level, identify not just the bus breakdowns, but the time it takes for that bus to go offline and then back online. Because I think it's imperative among us to let the state know how their buses are impacting student achievement based on lost instructional time. And I think we can't do that if we just say, well, look, we've got lost instructional time here, here's our numbers. I think that's fine, but I think if you really want to look at it and really be more deliberate with it, I think we need to look at bus routes like Jeff is saying, and potentially the actual bus itself that's breaking down, and when it goes offline and when it comes back online, and how we can track that within our system. So if we ever were to go to the state and ask for, and seriously ask for some concessions when it comes to buses, that they can have some
Yeah, that data.
real meaningful data to say yes or no. So that's why I asked.
I try and do that with the funeral home and a fleet of 15 cars, and let me tell you, it's hard.
Well, I'm sure it is, and I'm not saying that's not important work. Obviously, it is.
Come on now.
But loss of
Lose one of those cars.
right, and loss of instructional time is really obviously deeply important when we're looking at the schools and all that kind of stuff. So.
Unfortunately, she leaves with the body when she comes back.
Yeah, at least I won't die. But it might be good for her, because that's more money. You drop off money, you pick up money. Anybody, so no questions
Discussions
for,
we've had today.
no questions for Jeff?
No.
All right, Jeff, thank you, buddy.
Mr. Chair.
we have a- we still have one more. Anybody have any questions on the capital projects report for the month of March?
Looks fabulous.
Yeah.
But Kevin has a question.
Kevin?
You getting geared up for your summer projects, correct? What, did we get a report on last year's projects and where we were at? And change orders that accrued from those projects?
Talking about capital or maintenance?
Maintenance and capital.
So, maintenance, we gave you an FCO report at the end of the calendar year for the previous year. So we report out showing our SWME participation in the projects that we complete.
I missed that, I'm sorry.
Right.
Can you send me that?
We can go back and,
It's in your July updates.
I know, I don't, just trash that stuff. If we end up be a stack in the corner of the
Google
house.
Docs.
No, it's on the
On the
Google.
Google
Right, it's on the
It's all
drive.
earnings on here.
And then what you approved for this year is on the drive, and then we compare that in July to what they actually.
Yeah, we've gotten our.
When I get my laptop switched over, then I'll be able to, but if you would, sir, email it, and I'll forward it over and look at it.
So we got special.
We have a list of reports coming up this, for the summer projects.
No, we already got that.
the list of summer projects would be in a number of different places. You would have the fixed cost of ownership FY19 that you all approved. That
Yes,
is
sir.
by project. Most of that work is done in the summertime. You have your capital maintenance projects list, which Ron submits every year. Most of that work is done in the summertime. So we don't have one separate list. They're done by color of money.
No, I got you. I understand.
Could we, since there's only one person on board who has photographic memory about when we did something, which is Cindy.
Yeah.
Could we on the Google Drive, Julie, and I don't know, like on my computer, I keep a data file, so I have like my live and attend data and stuff there. Could we?
Set up a separate
Yeah, but just
project.
for capital projects, and then, I know you present it to us at a certain time, but the
Yep.
stuff that we really ought to know, not everything, but the stuff that you guys, we asked you for multiple times, put it there.
Right, because I agree. I think there's like 3 folders of that type we need to make, and one of which is what projects
We'll clean it up.
are getting
It's called banding.
done. Is that for the Voltron? Is that the Voltron in the window?
See, I do pay attention.
Yeah,
And these-
that would be great, and just put it on the Google Drive. I mean, I think,
In a list.
In one folder.
one folder.
Jennifer, you like that, right? I see you over there watching me. I see you watching me. I see you watching me.
How is the Burke project coming with the front?
Right, the Burke project, in fact, we're scheduled to brief the District 20 constituent group tomorrow night, as well as the community groups on what that entrance is going to look like. The design is complete. We expect to have that work begin in the summer. They will have a temporary entrance at the start of the school year. We're not going to be able to complete that entire project in the summer.
Yeah.
So we're working a temporary entrance. but the design is complete. We expect to award that soon.
Y'all are rewarded the firm?
We have not picked a firm yet to do it, no. No, we, in fact, we intended that to be a SWMB set-aside, and the vendor that was capable enough to do it said it wasn't big enough. Big enough, not small enough, it wasn't big enough that they
Did you?
didn't.
What's the dollar amount?
It is expected to be, I think it's around $1 million.
Million?
I think it's around $1 million.
You didn't try,
We see, that's the tough thing about it, the SWMB, we want to make sure it fits into their wheelhouse, and so you have a number of SWMBs that do bigger projects,
Yeah.
$5-6 million range, like St. James Santee last summer was a very large project. And then you have a lot of vendors that do a couple $100,000
I
projects.
got you.
That middle it's tough. We've been tracking to try to find somebody to award that to, but I think we're going to have to competitively bid that one.
I got you. Have you looked at groups like Calvin Whitfield or Paragon? See if
I'm
they
not
can
sure.
take
I'm
on?
not sure who we've looked at.
Right.
Well, since we're on Stonyfield, quick, Chris, I'm about to get you a second. Since we're on Stonyfield, I drive past Stonyfield almost every day in the afternoon when I pick my daughter up from school, and I notice there's always kids out there playing lacrosse. So are those kids, because Stonyfield is a co-ownership field, right?
It's a
us, the
city-owned field. So the basic agreement is if we have a need for it, they're to schedule us. Other than that, it's theirs for the scheduling of everything.
Okay, all right, gotcha. Any more questions for under the capital projects report?
No.
Collins, what you got?
Jeff, I want to ask you a question. It's not on the agenda.
Be quick now.
Yes, sir. When you're building schools, and you consider the need for CD classes, like maybe K4 and CD3. Do we have enough money in our budget if there's a need to expand additional class space just to service our community? Do we have? I'll use Dunson for example. That just in case the issue does come in the future, that we find there are other kids in there that would like to get a head start in school, that we'll be able to build to accommodate. I know you mentioned like some of that building, but you always build one additional space and when you do the buildings. But would there be a possibility something were to come up in the future that we had a need, we could meet it, whether that school or any other school?
So if there's, and we've had a number of long-term discussions on this, if there is a desire that all 4-year-olds will be educated in Charleston County School District, that's one extreme, and that's something that we are, at least as we do the development of the next master plan, trying to make sure that we have the ability to expand, just as you're saying, on most of our campuses, or in a zone concept, have a space large enough for multiple classes.
Right.
So in general, most elementary schools we have, in general, not all of them, but most of them, we could add a couple of trailers, we could add an annex for another CD class or two. That's physically possible with most of the campuses we have.
I know the Justice Ministry was very interested in getting kids started in school much earlier, giving them the head start. And a few years ago, we did make sure we had more K-5 seatings, get more kids in school. But that was one of the problems, when the kids get a head start, they have a much better chance of succeeding and being successful in school. And I think that would support CCSD initiative and vision also, that we see kids producing better because they're starting earlier.
Yeah, the state needs to start funding 4-year-old kindergarten.
It would help.
That would help, but in the meantime, we gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
Then we gotta pass
You
the
gotta vote for the
budget.
budget.
Gotta
Take it
pass the
away from
budget.
Title I
That's
schools.
not in the
Gotta
budget.
God, they needed to move. Who's talking?
Vote for the budget.
Okay,
Vote for that.
so coming out of consent, we have A, B, C, and D going into consent under the operations committee. Gentlemen and lady, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right, I'm at the next thing.
Thank y'all.
Audit.
That's how you-